Alaikum, students. I welcome you back to our class. As we know that this is Katsina State Senior Secondary Schools Online Connect, a program that connects students from different schools across Katsina State, which is powered by exponential computers. This lesson is English lesson 2, and prepared by Aminu Suleiman and Daki. So, our topic of today is grammar. In grammar, we are going to focus on words modifiers. Word modifiers. So class, before we dive in, let's think of what is grammar. Based on our previous knowledge, can we all think of what is grammar, class? Yeah, grammar is a set of instructional rules of the English language. Is that? Yeah, it includes what? The structural of words, the structure of phrases, clauses, sentences, and the whole what? Sentence. So we can say that grammar are what? Set of instruction rules, are the protocols of English. So let's go in and see. Specifically, we are going to look at modifiers. What are modifiers in English language? So modifiers are words, phrases, and clauses that affect and enhance the meaning of sentences. Modifiers offers detail that can make a sentence more engaging, clearer, or specific. There are two types of modifiers: adjectives and adverbs. So based on this definition, we can see that modifiers are words or phrases or clauses that affect the sentences, the meaning of sentence. You see, so it gives more meaning to the sentence. That's why it is called what? A modifier. So it modifies sentences, phrases, clauses, so that the sentence can be what? More engaging, more clearer, and more specific. Let's see our examples. Before going into the examples, we are going to look at the types of modifiers. Types of modifiers. What are they? We have adverbs, adjectives. So adverb and adjectives are part of the traditional part of speech that we have, which are English noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, interjection, preposition, conjunction, then what? So these are what? Traditional part of speech that we have. So we know the definition of noun, we know verb and pronoun. So adverbs and adjectives are the modifiers. Adverbs modifies verb, while adjectives modifies what? Noun. Are we clear? So when you are speaking, a verb coming, so that is a modifiers. Modifiers come in to modify verbs. Those modifiers that come in to modify verbs are called adverbs, and those that come in to modify nouns are called what? Adjectives. So let's look at the examples. Kabiru bought a cake. Kabiru bought a cake. You see, this example and this sentence is straightforward. Kabiru bought a cake. So if we are to modify this sentence, we can see that Kabiru bought a chocolate and what? Chocolate cake yesterday. You see, Kabiru bought a cake. It's straightforward and meaningful, but we modify it by giving it more modification, and that shows that Kabiru bought a chocolate. We are now what? Describing what? The cake that Kabiru bought, which is chocolate by taste. Yesterday is also trying to show us more light on the cake that Kabiru bought yesterday. So Kabiru bought a cake. In the modification, we have a chocolate cake, and it is yesterday. So you can also see that Amira read. You say Amira read. It's straightforward, but there is need for more clearer, more specific to the sense, so that the sentence can be what? More meaningful, more engaging. So in that case, we modify it by saying Amina read the passage. Amina read the passage. So we know that Amina read, but Amina may read newspaper, magazine, textbook. So it depends on what Amina read. But in trying to use modifiers, we say Amina read the passage. So now it is more clearer, more engaging, and more specific that Amina read the passage. Then the modifiers are what? Classified into two. We have the pre-modifiers and the post-modifiers. What are pre-modifiers? And what are the post-modifiers? Once we say pre, that means pre before, and post mean after. So let's see the pre-modifiers and the post-modifiers. What are pre-modifiers? Pre-modifiers modify words that allow them in the sentence. Sorry. Modifiers, pre-modifiers modify the words that follow them in the sentence. The words that follow them, that is, they came before the words. The modifiers came before the words. So conventionally, the adjectives are usually placed before the nouns. So the adjectives modifiers are placed before the nouns. So we say that adjectives modifies nouns. So and usually they come in before the nouns they modify. So most of the adjectives are modifiers. Most of the adjectives are modifiers. So adverbs are often placed before the words. Adverbs are often placed before the words they modify. Are we clear? So we can see that these are what? Adverbs are pre adjectives are what? Pre-modifiers. So adverbs are often placed before modifiers. So we can see that so adjectives are often placed before the words. So we can see an error there. We said that adverbs instead of adjectives. So adjectives are often placed before the words they modify. However, articles, determiners, demonstratives, proper adjectives, descriptive adjectives, compound adjectives, particles are adjectives which comes before the nouns and modify them. So we can see that all adjectivals, verbs are what came before the words they modify. So they are pre-modifiers. So they come in before. So those modifiers that come in before the words they modify is known as what? Adjectives. Are we clear? Then from there we can realize that adverbs adverbs came in after, because we say adjectives came in before. So that means they are pre-modifiers. So they came in before the what they modify. Examples here we have give me box. Give me box. So we can see using modifiers we have give me that black covered shining box. So now give me the black covered shining box. So we can see that we have modifiers them and they modify what? Box. Are we clear? So box is a what? It's a noun. It's a name of thing. So we say that that is what? Demonstrative. Black is describing. That is descriptive adjective. Are we clear? It's trying to what? Describe. It's trying to describe the adjective we have, which is it's trying to describe the noun, which is box. Then shining. Before shining, we have covered. Covered. You see cover with ed. That means what? Past participle. So it is what? Past participle. Then shining is present participles, because shining is true that black cupboard shining, so it's all describing the box. So this modifies what? The box. It's trying to give us more light, more descriptive, more meaningful to the sentence by describing the box. The type of box, it's black, it is covered, and it is what? Shining. Are we clear? All right. Let's see the post modifiers. What are the post modifiers? Post modifiers comes after the verbs they modify. That is customarily the adverbs. Are we clear? The adverbs comes after the verbs and modify them. Are we clear? So almost all adverbial modifiers came after the words they modify. So most of the adverbs of time, we have adverbial of time, adverbial of manner, adverb of place usually comes after the verb they modify. So they normally come in after the verb they modify. That is the action. What action is performed? So they come in after the verb. So examples we have Malam Amini gives us work in class. Malam Aminu give us work in class. Malam Aminu give us work in class. So it's straightforward, meaningful, but to modify it and give it more sense of belonging, more descriptive, we says Malam Aminu, our English teacher. You see, Malam Aminu, our English teacher. Are we clear? Gives us work to do in class. Gives up work to do in class. You see, the work to do in what? Class. So we can see that they came in after the verb, which is work. And it is what? Our English teacher is appositive. To do is infinitive adjective. In the class is adverbial place. That is in class. Class is a place, so it's adverbial place. So that is where we come to the end of this lesson. We can see that modifiers are two types. We have adverb, we have adjectives. Adverb modifies verb, and they usually comes in after the verb or after the word they modify, while adjectives are modifiers of noun and they usually comes in before the words they modify. And we have classification, which are classified into two: the pre modifiers and the post modifiers. Mostly examination bodies ask about these grammatical expressions. They will give you a passage, ask you to what grammatical expression is given to this. So it may be adverbial clause of time or adjectival clause of. So it depends on the nature of the sentence. So which I hope student can be able to see that this lesson is important, looking at the modifiers, what they modify, and the adjectival and adverbial modifiers. So I will give you assignment. You check in there and bring out the answers. The assignment is, I will give it, you just have to write it. Check your box there, you will see the assignment and you respond to the assignments so that we can see how far you are and how good you are in English.